Shri Gurupyo Namaha. Chapter 47. Karmaphala. The preeminence of Sri Sainatha beggars all our description. So great and profound and unlimited as the preeminence of Sai Baba. If we have a glimpse of Baba's photo or statue, it is quite sufficient for us. Distance ourselves from all kind of evils and sins. The sins committed by us will go away from us, thanks to the grace of Baba. Even the sins committed by us in our past life, say previous janams, get released and make us sin-free mortals. As the waters of Ganga cleanses all our blemishes, Baba, the noble saint and God incarnate, can make all of us free from our evil deeds, sins and other blemishes. Baba himself narrated a story on how our sins will be reduced to ashes. One day Baba came to bank of river. Baba was really tired when he reached the spot. He took fresh bath in the river and was smoking his pipe. He heard a frog croaking. A passer-by came there. He invited Baba to his house for lunch. But Baba again heard the frog croaking. The passerby asked Baba, "Why is that frog croaking?" Baba replied calmly, "Well, this frog had been enjoying the fruit of sin he committed in his previous birth. It is inevitable. Every individual as well as animal or beast has to eat his or her dividend of sin committed by him or her. There is no point in grieving over the punishment and suffering. See now how the frog has fallen a prey into the snake's mouth." The passerby wanted to know whether the frog would be eaten away by the snake. Baba replied, "Certainly not. I am destined to save this frog from the jaws of death. I will not allow this frog to die." Baba approached the snake and addressed, "O Veerabhadrappa, your enemy Basappa has taken birth as a frog. Are you still nursing enmity?" Hearing these words, the snake released the frog from his mouth. The terribly frightened frog suckled into the water. The passerby was simply spellbound, looking at the scene. What a miracle! By listening to your words, the snake left the frog unscathed. Amazing! Who are these Basappa and Veerabhadrappa? The passerby asked Baba. Then Baba narrated a story of the duo. I was staying in a town. A little away from the town where I lived was the shrine of Lord Shiva. It was an old temple and in dilapidated condition. The residents of that town collected funds for the renovation of this temple of Lord Shiva. The entire fund thus collected was handled by a rich man in that town. He misused the fund by appropriating large proportion of the money for his own benefit. A few days after this incident happened, the rich man's wife had a dream. Lord Shiva appeared in her dream and addressed her thus, "You had better undertake the work of putting up the temple tower. I will give you back 100 times of the amount you spent from your purse." The rich man, having heard of this account, dubbed it as a pack of lies, a mere illusion. He refused to take note of her words. Again Lord Shiva appeared in her dream and said to her, "Ignore your husband. If he does not heed your suggestion, spend your own money and construct the tower of my temple." She decided to sell her jewels that she had been gifted by her parents. She wanted to pool the money for selling all her possessions. Her miserly husband did not allow her to sell the jewel. He advised her not to sell them, but he would sell a piece of land and get her money. The rich man had snatched away some pieces of land belonging to an old woman, because the latter had borrowed money from him by pledging the land. Moreover, the land belonging to that old woman was a dry, infertile land. This is how the rich man prevented his wife from selling her jewels. Being affected by thunder, his wife and the old woman whose land had been snatched away by the rich man died on the spot. The miserly rich man took rebirth as Veerabhadrappa. His wife took rebirth as the daughter of the priest of Shiva temple. The old woman was reborn as a man called Channabasappa. The priest's daughter Gauri and Veerabhadrappa became husband and wife in this janam. Veerabhadrappa's miserly nature did not diminish even in his rebirth. Baba resisted that the cost of the land, being 1 lakh rupees, should go to Gauri as the Stridhan. Veerabhadrappa scolded and insulted Baba. Lord Shiva appeared in Gauri's dream and said, "This money belongs to you. Do not part with this money. Meet Channabasappa and spend a part of your money for the renovation of my temple. For further help, consult Baba." Gauri soon had the darshan of Baba and asked Baba's suggestion for the future course of action. Keep your principal amount for yourself and pay Channabasappa the interest incurred on the principal amount. Veerabhadrappa had no right on your money. Veerabhadrappa was very angry with this development. He quarrelled with Channabasappa and came to meet Baba. Baba tried to pacify Channabasappa, appealed to Baba to protect him. Later both of them took rebirth as snake and frog respectively. Baba's assurance to protect Channabasappa against the high-headedness of Veerabhadrappa ended in saving the frog from the snake's fangs. However, every creature has to enjoy his or her karma phala. End of chapter 47. Om Shri Sai Nathaya Namaha.